Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about the periodic table. All the known elements have been arranged in the order of increasing proton number to show the similarities between elements with related electronic configurations. Certain groups, which are vertical columns of elements, show the number of electrons of all the elements in their outer shell. Periods that are horizontal rows of elements with decreasing atomic size and other trends in physical or chemical properties. When looking at the periodic table closely, you see that hydrogen is isolated from all the other elements. It is the smallest atom of all and has distinct chemical and physical properties. Therefore, it does not fit into trends shown in any one group. For example, lithium, which is the first group 1 element, is a solid or metal, has one outer shell electron and forms cations during reactions. Hydrogen, however, is a gas and a non-metal but also has one outer shell electron and can form not only a cation but also an anion. Fluorine, the first element of group 7, is also a gas at room temperature and a non-metal but has 7 outer shell electrons and forms only an anion during reactions. This shows that it shares some of the properties with group 1 elements and some with group 7, so we cannot exactly decide to which group it belongs. In a periodic table, there are some general trends. Atomic number, which provides a linear continuous sequence of listing the elements. Moving from left to right, the atomic number increases. A periodic property shows a repeating pattern when it is plotted against proton number. Group number is equal to the number of electrons in the outer shell of the atoms of the element in that group. The period number shows number of filled electron shells of atoms in the element belonging to that particular period. Since it is the outer shell electrons which give the element its characteristic properties, all those elements in a group will share similar chemical properties. It is crucial to note that for metals, the charge on their ions is equal to the group number. However, for non-metals, the charge on their ions is equal to 8 minus the group number. Let's begin with the first group, the alkali metals. Talking about their physical properties, they can classify as soft solids with low densities, low melting points, and with one electron in their outer shell. Regarding their chemical properties, they are very reactive, so they have to be stored in oil to prevent any reaction with air. They form alkaline solution when they are dissolved in water. With potassium, a lilac flame is produced. Down the group, the melting point decreases, the reactivity increases, which means that potassium will react more vigorously than sodium or lithium. The density increases and also the solids get softer and softer down the group. To determine and differentiate between the chemical properties of the alkali metals, we have to look for certain observations during the reaction of each element with water. First, see which gas is produced. Then, does the metal melt on contact with water? Does the gas which is produced in the reaction ignite? What is the color change when the universal indicator is added? What is the rate or the strength of fissing francium, which is a radioactive element? Group 7 halogen are smelly and poisonous. All of the elements are non-metals and each has 7 electrons in their outer shell. They form diatomic molecules, produce compounds known as halides. So each element reacts with hydrogen to form strong acid like HCl, hydrochloric acid, HBr, hydrobromic acid. During reactions, they form negative ions which have a single charge. Down the group, the melting points and the boiling points increase. Their reactivity decreases, which means that chlorine can displace iodine from its salt. Initial elements are gas, bromine is a liquid, remaining are solids at room temperature. So down the group, the color gets darker. Chlorine is a pale green gas and is found in NaCl in seas. Bromine is a deep red liquid which has a red-brown vapor and is found in magnesium bromide in seas. Iodine is a grey-black solid, has a purple vapor and is found in rocks and seaweed as compounds. Astantine is radioactive. Dutch metal foil, which is an alloy of copper and zinc. When it reacts with chlorine, it bursts. Additionally, when chlorine reacts with aluminium, the aluminium will glow white and aluminium chloride will be formed. For even bromine and iodine, when aluminum is added, a highly exothermic reaction will take place if a few water drops are added. Hydrochloric acid is formed in an explosive reaction between hydrogen and fluorine. When you dissolve Cl2 in water, it will form the acidic chlorine water, a mixture of hydrochloric acid and hypochlorous acid, HClO. Chlorine water is an oxidizing agent because HClO will give up its oxygen to the other substance during a redox reaction. Chlorine water also acts as a bleach because when colored substances are oxidized, they lose their color. Therefore, the test for chlorine gas is adding a damp universal indicator paper which will bleach due to the formation of chlorine water. The last group, the noble gases, are all non-metals with extremely low melting points and boiling points and have 8 electrons in their outer shell. It means that their electronic configuration is very stable. Helium has 2 electrons in an outer shell, maximum number that can fill the first electron shell. Also a stable element. They are the most unreactive elements of all, form no molecule, and when electrical discharge of noble gas takes place, different colors will be produced. Down the group, the density increases, the melting points and the boiling points also increase. Helium is used in airships and to fill balloons because it is light and unreactive. Argon fills incandescent light bulbs because it will not react with the filament even at the high temperatures reached. Neon lights are brightly colored lights which use neon gas for advertising. From left to right, the atomic size decreases, the metallic character decreases. We start from metals, then metalloids, and then non-metals. Density, boiling points and melting points increase up till group 4 and then decrease. Chemically, elements to the left of the table form metallic lattices, and towards the right, ion covalent structures and then simple molecular structures. Shift from basic to acidic oxide. Since shift from metal to non-metal, and metals from basic oxides while non-metals from acidic oxide. Huge block of elements which have not been assigned particular groups are known as transition elements, which are the most useful metals. For example, excellent corrosion resistance of chromium, useful property. The very high boiling point of tungsten makes it possible to be filament for light bulbs, so it will not boil or even melt at the high temperatures reached. Transition elements are hard and strong, have a high density, melting points and boiling points, and are good electrical conductors. For example, copper. Chemically, they form colored compounds, and so colored solutions have variable oxidation states. For example, iron forms Fe2 plus ions and can also form Fe3 plus ions. Due to this variable oxidation state, they can form more than one type of oxide. The compounds have catalytic properties. If the element's oxidation state is high, then it will bond covalently. If it is medium, the bonding type depends, and if it is low, bond ionically. An oxide containing high oxidation state transition ion will be acidic, it will become amphoteric for medium oxidation states and basic for low oxidation states. Thank you.